So the flight data recorders have been recovered from the plane and one from the helicopter. Is there one that's more important than the other out of all those?
I think the flight data recorder from the helicopter is going to help us understand exactly what happened inside the chopper. So far, what we know is that air traffic control asked the helicopter to clear visually the flight path from the airliner. So what we need to understand right now is what was happening in the cockpit. So far, what we know is that there were NVGs, night vision goggles, used in the helicopter. And with the flight data recorder from the helicopter, we might be able to understand exactly the sequence of events that led to the Black Hawk flying into the airliner. So that is exactly the piece of the puzzle that we're missing right now.
Now, even with the night goggles, would it be possible, because it looked like the plane was coming in with Washington in the background, is it possible they lost it in the lights of the city?
It is possible. Having flown with NVGs, what you need to understand is it brings you to a very narrow field of view. So you have to keep your head on a swivel and move your head a lot when you're under NVGs. And usually when the flight is under NVGs, both pilots are going to use them. So it might be difficult to gain tally, as we say, to gain the visual on the plane, or you might mistake it for another one. The area was very crowded. There were other aircraft in the area, and the crew of the Black Hawk might have misidentified the airliner and thought they were deconflicting from another one. Just so that you understand, flying at night can be very difficult. As fighter pilots, I had friends and myself, sometimes we try to fly formation on stars, just to give you an idea. The lights might be misinterpreted in an aircraft at night, and you might think you're flying very close to a field of light, but in fact, you're very far, or sometimes you think you're very far, but you're very close. That's why it's so difficult, and that's why we have airspace deconfliction, and the helicopter should be flying below 200 feet to make sure there is no risk.
And now, how much of a factor would have been, it appears there was only one air traffic controller handling planes and helicopter traffic, and that's a very busy area there.
Yes, so it goes down to the legal side in the minimum. As airline pilots, what we like to use is what we call the minimum equipment list. You need, by law, to have minimum equipment in the aircraft to be able to fly. Priority number one is safety. As air traffic controllers, the top priority is safety as well. And they have rules and regulations. And the inquiry is going to look into if it was legal for them to be only staffed like this. And depending on that, we're going to know in a couple of weeks. We'll be able to draw more conclusion and to understand exactly who's at fault.
Okay, Pierre-Henri, thank you very much for your expertise. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Pierre-Henri Chuet is an aviation expert and former fighter pilot.